I wanted to make a video on Slate Auto for a while now, but I couldn't figure out where to start. I'd been chipping away at this particular metamorphic rock for weeks now, with various ideas of what to focus on. The electric people's car, the automotive equivalent of the Pebble watch, which is back, by the way. And so the other night, around 1 a.m., after an evening spent slacking off instead of writing the script, I realized something. I think I figured out Slate Auto. I figured out why Slate is different. People are rightly skeptical of another electric car startup. Not just an electric car, but an affordable electric truck, seemingly designed entirely around saying all of the things that we desperately want to hear. And by we, I mean me and some guy from Jalopnik who really loves manual crank windows. How is that possible? How will they do what earlier startups and established automakers couldn't? How will they handle the starting capital costs of mass production? How much cash will they lose on each truck? Can they really make that up with accessories and merch? Can Jeff Bezos beat Elon Musk in a fight if he has unlimited time to prepare? I've identified quite a few explanations. For one, the CEO of Slate Auto is a woman and therefore will neither need nor be eligible for a MAGA pardon. Nor will she go on 4chan under a fake name and explain the CEO is an alpha male who interacts with women all the time and isn't a fake gaming streamer who cries. I have more reasons in a list, but most of them aren't nearly as funny. And besides, that stuff isn't what makes Slate Auto different. You see, Slate isn't just an automaker. Slate Auto is a family. Member within a larger organization of manufacturing projects. That organization is called Rebuild Manufacturing, a company named specifically to trigger emoji suggestions as I'm typing its name. From this point on, they're RB. Aside from their inconvenient name, RB's mission is to re-establish manufacturing in the United States. Not only are they one of the main investors in Slate Auto, it also appears they are the founders of Slate Auto, formerly known as Project Re-Car. And so the jet from Amazon to focus on isn't the most notorious union buster and labor exploiter since Jeff Davis. No, it's Jeff Wilk. I assume that's how it's pronounced. I don't think he's competing for the titles, but I haven't looked that deep into his background. Supposedly, he made Prime happen, but I don't think that required all the stuff, so I'll withhold judgment for now. The company's blog posts on its origins claim he was thinking about the degradation of the US manufacturing base in high school, which is very encouraging because it means I'm not that weird. Or at least, I have a chance of someday being respected and paid handsomely for my weirdness. I'll settle for 5 figures, healthcare, and dental. Alright, no dental, but how does that make Slate different? My theory is that Slate is, to put it in somewhat cynical terms, a make-work project. It's possible that spending money on building infrastructure isn't an existential threat to Slate. It's quite possibly the entire point. To quote a blog post by the CEO, "We are working on the supply side, creating the ability, the means, to produce complex industrial products in America. But part of what ails us today is the demand side, the flood of imports that we consume as businesses and as individuals." In other words, RB can't make industrial capacity for products that aren't being made yet, and not many products are going to be made in the US without the industrial capacity to support it. But what if you did have a complex industrial product to produce? One that made good use of the industries you were investing in? Better yet, what if this product was a grand symbol of your entire mission, that addressed an unfilled need in the ailing middle class of America? Americans love cars, and love the idea of making cars. Americans need cars, but the auto industry only gets further away from what they need every year. So, you make a people's car. But there's a problem. You can't make it. RB isn't a company structured to design and market its own products to consumers. They provide engineering, infrastructure, and investment for other companies. It needs to be an independent company with its own structure and leadership. How do they find this very specific and ambitious client to invest in? They make one. So here's what I think Re-Car was. Find some good people. Bring them all into a room and say, "We want to build an affordable vehicle. The rest is up to you." And that seems to be the origin story that Slate's head of engineering told in an interview. RB provided the mission, then let the car people work within their own domain to pursue it. Support as necessary. And now you have the perfect client. A whole new car factory? As a car startup, that's terrifying. As a startup that's trying to build the factories that make other factories, you've secured enough work to keep developing that infrastructure without waiting for the market. It's a brilliant symbiosis. That is what makes Slate different. I definitely have more to say about Slate. Maybe next I'll explain why, as of now, the Slate truck is the only new vehicle I would consider buying, assuming I ever had money. I am interested in people's opinions. Do you think I'm right? Did a dozen people already explain this in better detail? Am I terribly mistaken? Either let me know in the comments, or if you don't want to reward me with algorithm feeding engagement, you can just make your arguments at the Mastodon account linked in my channel profile. There. Now you can't accuse me of a boilerplate call to action. If you disagree, let me know specifically in the YouTube comment section. Later, folks.